News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
A Missoula man has been charged with attempted deliberate homicide after a Monday night shooting. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Tuesday, September 20th, 2016. Skies cloudy. We have 48 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast this morning, sponsored by Western States CAT, where professionals and do-it-yourselfers alike go for professional advice. They say go Grizz. At approximately 8:13 last night, Missoula police responded to the report of a man who had suffered a gunshot wound to his head in the 500 block of North California Street. Sergeant Jerry Odlin provides details.
Upon arrival, officers located the 28-year-old victim and learned that the shooting was the result of a disturbance between him and a 24-year-old male suspect. Witnesses at the scene, as well as other informants, eventually led officers to a residence in the 200 block of North Catlin, where the suspect was located and taken into custody. The victim suffered a non-life-threatening injury. The suspect was identified as Jordan Standing Rock. He is currently being held for one count of attempted deliberate homicide.
Odlin asked that anyone who may have more information, please contact the Missoula Police Department at 552-6300 or Missoula Crime Stoppers at 721-4444. Authorities say an Illinois woman has died after crashing an all-terrain vehicle in southwestern Montana. Bozeman Daily Chronicle reports that 69-year-old Helene Antonini of Barrington, Illinois, died at the scene of the Monday afternoon crash in Big Sky. The Gallatin County Sheriff's Office said Antonini had been riding the ATV along with a narrow logging road when she struck some rocks and was thrown from the vehicle. Authorities say the woman hit her head on a large rock. She had not been wearing a helmet. Missoula police still searching for suspects from a weekend robbery. Police Public Information Officer Travis Welsh has more.
First reported Saturday morning very early, about 3:23 a.m., at a motel in the 800 block of East Broadway. Clerk was on duty at the front desk or in the office behind the front desk when two males came in, assaulted him, and left with cash that was in the office there.
Welsh said the clerk exchanged blows with the robbers and was eventually forced to the ground and pinned there while the two intruders stole cash. The clerk was able to only offer a vague description.
Suspect number one is described as a male, 5'8" to 180 pounds, wearing a black hoodie. Suspect number two is described as being a little taller, about 5'10", and around 180 pounds, and he was wearing a gray hoodie. Both suspects had the hoods up over their heads and were doing their best to conceal their faces.
Welsh says police are looking for surveillance footage of the suspects and said the two robbers left the motel on foot. While the Montana Supreme Court has returned the issue of whether the Montana Board of Regents at the University of Montana should release private students' records to best-selling author John Krakauer back to the district court. The State Board of Regents maintained if they release the records of former Grizzly football player Jordan Johnson, the school could face the loss of federal funding for violating federal student privacy laws. Following oral arguments before the court back in April, attorney for John Krakauer, Mike Malloy, had one word about the Board of Regents' argument: hogwash.
No state has ever lost federal funds as a result of disclosure of records, number one. And number two, FERPA only causes jeopardy to funding of an educational institution if they engage in a pattern and practice of systematically disclosing student records.
Malloy said the school simply cannot lose federal funding for releasing Johnson's records.
There's a provision in FERPA that permits a court to make that kind of an order. So I wasn't buying that argument. And there's no way this university is going to lose any funding.
So now the Missoula District Court will have to decide between the public's right to know and the personal privacy of Montana's university students. Conservationist John Craighead, who will be forever linked to America's wild rivers and a seminal study of grizzly bears, has died. He was 100 years old. Craighead, who had been ailing for years, died in his sleep at his Missoula home Sunday, according to his son, Johnny. The Missoulian reports that upon arriving at the U of M in 1958, Craighead founded the Craighead Wildlife Wildlands Institute and helped establish the university's wildlife biology program over the next 25 years. Governor Steve Bullock met his Republican opponent Greg Gianforte in Billings last night in their second debate. One panelist asked both candidates a very direct personal question. First, to Gianforte.
Have you ever been involved in an extramarital affair?
I have not. And I will say that Susan and I have been married 28 years. We've raised our 4 children in Bozeman. and those relationships are precious.
Then to Governor Steve Bullock.
Yeah, I have not. My wife, Lisa, we first met when we were in high school. We just celebrated our 17th anniversary a week ago yesterday.
Governor Bullock's judgment was called into question regarding his choice of lieutenant governors, first with John Walsh and then with Angela McLean.
Yeah, I certainly didn't know everything about that. John Walsh had served our state and our nation well. I think that probably both many people in the audience as well as these two opponents have never had their Humvee blown up. So I certainly respect the service that he had.
Forte went a step further with criticisms of Bullock's judgment.
Really, my opponent is on his third lieutenant governor. Unfortunately, Lieutenant Governor Walsh had to resign in disgrace over the plagiarism. And then there was an issue with his second lieutenant governor where we haven't ever gotten a full explanation as to what happened.
The debate was held at the Petro Theater on the MSU Billings campus. Finally, a Bozeman lawmaker who was found to have taken illegal corporate contributions from an anti-union organization in 2010 says he'll appeal his case to the Montana Supreme Court. The Bozeman Daily Chronicle reports Representative Art Wittick's decision to appeal follows a district judge's ruling Monday denying the lawmaker's request for a new trial. Our news talk time now is 6:11.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly cloudy skies today with a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. High temperatures will be in the mid to upper 60s. Tonight, chance of showers, overnight lows in the mid 40s. We'll keep rain in the forecast through the end of the week. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.